All right, in that case, there you are. There you go. Good evening, all. Welcome to whatever this show is called today, because it's always different. And let me turn off this screen thing here back here. All right.
I believe it's router control assembly.
Router control box assembly. This mess here. So this is what I'm working on tonight, and well, I'll be starting a new one any second now, so I will give you guys a play-by-play. So let me finish this one up. This is not the easiest thing in the world, so the next one that I'm doing it a little bit smarter than this one. And by a little bit smarter, I mean it's possible to assemble this in the condition that I'm doing it, which is in the box, but
closed quarters.
yeah, it's closed quarters, and frankly, I am going to do the next one and build a box around it. So if anybody orders one of these, feel free. It's a very good design, but it's don't take it apart, or you're going to have trouble putting it back together.
Well, we just got Troy and Big D and Marcelo join us.
Troy, Big D, how's it going? Good to see all you guys. Oh, you know what? It's a lot easier. It's not as bad as I thought. As long as you have the the famous long nose pliers, it's not as bad as let me not speak. So
I don't know about that. I'd have to have one with longer noses than those there. I got one with some real long noses on them.
Yeah,
I could really see doing them with that, but by God, even trying to get that piece in like you were doing there was a struggle.
It's only 2 inches down, so it's not like I'm not going to the bottom of the box. But I'm sorry, I'm a little frazzled because my wife just called me looking for a file, and I couldn't find the file, but I know there's one on my computer, and I have a copy of everything of my computer that I always bring with me here. And as many of you know, in one of my wonderful, in the last time I came up here, one of the boxes wasn't tied down exactly perfectly, which means I lost the box. And
I think I'm gonna go to one.
Little by little, I've been. Hang on a second. Let me mute Russ here. Oh, he's muted. Okay. Little by little, I have been finding stuff that fell from the truck. In the one box. A lot of the stuff, like I had 3 or 4 of these made-up boxes and some parts. I had to make them again. I had 15 pieces of the hobby box of the backs. I had to make them all over again. Took care of that. I had a laptop. Well, had to do that. Had to nothing I could do about that. And I had some e-stops. Well, lo and behold, I just found out today, there's still a possibility that it's at home. Still a possibility. But I wouldn't have taken something home from here and not packed it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But it's an 8 terabyte hard drive. And I had all my backups on it. So it's not a pretty picture.
Did you answer Troy about getting your engraver working properly?
What's that?
Troy asked about your engraver.
Oh, well, yeah, It's not still non-functional. It's gotten worse. Now here's what I did do. The engraver, it loses steps, and I haven't been able to take it apart. I literally had one day at home. I mean, I came home from my last trip, had one day to build some backs of boxes and stuff, and come right back up. So I haven't had any time for minutia, and that unfortunately qualifies as minutia for the moment. So then, so the answer is I no, not yet. I don't even know if it's. I'm hoping it's not a control board issue. I'm hoping it's a. I'm hoping it's, as I suspect, it's one of the. Well, it's definitely, it loses steps in the Y direction, so it's clearly a poor contact, or a bad motor. Or, and I hadn't considered this before, but I got to take the thing apart. It's very possible, oh my God, if this is it, it would be so easy. Because Dave talks about it all the time, guys. Whenever you guys lose steps in one direction or another, put a little mark on your couplers, and in fact, do that when you first build your CNC. Put a mark on the coupler and put a mark on the lead screw and on the motor axis, the stepper motor. That way, if it goes off, if you have a loose coupler, and I've never taken this engraver apart. It was an industrial machine that I've used for years, so I can't tell you whether it has slotted or non-slotted couplers on them. Where is my, here it is, for this screwdriver, it's right in front of me. So anyway, again, I'm a little upset because up until now, I mean, yeah, I was upset a little bit about the laptop, but I just bought it, and it's $100. It's no big deal. But now this is another $50. This hard drive, and the worst part of it is, I was planning on using some of my free time, if I have any left this trip, to edit some videos because I'm tired of not having videos. In fact, there's a very good possibility that I might go out of stock for a month or so on the hobby boxes after the current orders, and take a break. So because frankly, this has taken up a lot of my time that I want for other things. It is what it is. So, one thing I value more than anything is my sanity. So I'm not stressed. I'm rarely stressed these days, and my time. So if I can manage to.
Y'all heard it here, folks. If you want one, you better hurry up before he takes a break.
Yeah, pretty soon. In fact, I'm going to post it on the website. Yeah, let's see. Let me change that now. Let me add that on the website. Current build time 3 to 6 weeks. Okay, so the HobbyBox CNC controller is available for purchase now. It's available for a purchase for a limited time. No, not for a limited time. Okay, where's my editing? On the wrong page here. Here we go. Do this, and then do this. I have decided that, let's see, June, I'll take orders through July, and then September. No orders will be taken in September. Okay. So, no, actually, no boxes will be built in September. So I'll always take the orders. But if anybody buys them, in a week or two, if you know how long it takes me to make one of these things, so if by any chance somebody buys one in a week or two, they're going to have to wait till October to get it. So here we go.
You have a question from the Dirty Knobs. If you know who that is.
There we go. Do you have any recommendations for an ATC spindle that doesn't cost a fortune? No, I'm sorry. I don't, because the community that I'm a part of is into hobby CNC.
Hobby CNC.
These are quite on the industrial side or the commercial side. This is pure hobbies. There's I do not know a single person out of the 2,000-3,000 that I know, woodworkers, that has an ATC. Now, the closest thing you can come is, like, for instance, on my machines, I have a, it's not an auto tool changer, but it's an auto tool, I guess you could call it an auto tool touch plate. What happens is my machine will, when it needs to, I do it all in one tool path. So, and eventually I'll be developing that for the hobby box, but not yet. So what happens is I have two touch plates. I have the regular touch plate that for the zero, and then I have the one that is in a fixed location. It is relative to the surface. It has been calibrated. So anytime you recalibrate the surface, anytime you resurface the board, you have to recalibrate it. And what happens is it's a tool measuring device. So what happens is this: I do the Z0, okay, and then I run the tool path. Let's say I have 5 different bits. It'll run the first bit. It'll come over and it'll say a message that says, take off dust shoe and swap the bit. I will take off the dust shoe. I swap the bit. Takes me 5 seconds with my muscle chuck, and hit enter. Goes over, goes down to that fixed location just off the work surface, measures the difference in height between the last bit and this bit, and recalibrates Z0 automatically. And then it comes back and it says, put the dust boot on. I put the dust boot on, boom, and then it continues to, obviously I hit the enter. It continues to do the next tool path. When the following bit comes in, boom. So my tool paths are all the bits on one path. So I just have to remember the order.
The order.
That's what I do. As far as auto tool changers, you are talking about working with pneumatics. You're talking about working with you're talking in the $1,500 area for a. They're all expensive, all of them. There is none that's cheap.
Yeah.
Bottom line, a spindle runs $500. You can get the $400 whatever. $300 to $500 is a regular spindle. You're going to pay upwards of quite a bit of money, $1,500 and way higher, because it has a completely different collet. It's got either it's got a pneumatic assembly that attaches the thing and sucks it in. You got to have a vacuum system on your computer. Some of them are mechanical. Do not buy a mechanical ATC spindle if you are going to go that route. If you're going to go with an ATC spindle, I mean, yeah. Bottom line is you're better off phone's glasses. I've got one of these little glass covers, and the glass itself is cracking on the glass cover. I got to replace that little sheet protector, whatever. But so that's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Quick answer: no, I don't have any information as far as I know how they work. I can take one apart electronically and fix it, but I will. And I've worked on them before, but I have and worked with them, but I have no idea. That was years ago, and I have no idea.
I do know that in some of the CNC groups, now don't get me the line and tell you which one it was, but I have seen a couple of fellas in there talking about their ATC setups, and I can't tell you which one it was or who they were because I didn't know them. But there are some guys out there. You just have to go through the hundreds of thousands of CNC groups, it seems, that are out there if you want to find that kind of information.
Yeah.
But like Hobby saying, this is hobby. This is not commercial or industrial.
Yeah,
So,
and ATC, no matter what you may think,
yeah,
it's a hobby. No.
not really.
I've got a laser engraver worth $29,000. That's an industrial laser engraver. I use it for my hobby.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it a hobby laser. Now, it is a hobby laser.
It's a hobby, huh? Philip Carter and Robert Sand
Philip,
showed
how
up.
is the? I wanted to ask Philip. Did you resolve that issue with the? Philip was having an issue with the USB plug on one of the hobby boxes.
Oh yeah.
Wondering whether it was a cable or whether it was because I mean obviously if it's a controller, send it to me and I'll swap it out. Let me know.
He was the fellow who was on the hangout the other night with us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I
Gotcha.
want to make sure that he got his problem resolved because I mean it's as rare as it is that it's clearly it's a bad connection. We determined it's a bad connection because it's intermittently recognizing the controller, which is 9 times out of 10 there's a USB issue on the computer side or a software issue on the computer side. However, that 10th time it may very well be or a cable, and that 10th time very well may be a bad board. That's not a problem. I mean, send me the we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Not sure what it was. It's possible it's sawdust in the USB port. It's working since I jumped in that night. Oh my God, that's so funny. It's
just like your two stops hurting when you're sitting in the dentist chair.
Well,
that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you what happened with me on one of my boxes, and it was the strangest thing. In fact, it's the one I have for myself. My own box. I'm so used to plugging and unplugging and plugging and unplugging one box to another. There's certain things that you can plug and unplug. Hot, while it's hot. And the USB, it's okay because it's
you
hot
can.
swappable.
Right.
However, just because it's not going to damage it doesn't mean it will work. because sometimes when you plug in a USB, even a mouse, something as simple as a mouse, you plug in a USB mouse, and one time out of 100, it won't recognize the mouse. You got to unplug it, plug it back in again. Maybe it'll recognize it. Maybe something happened while you were plugging it in, and the port went bad, and you have to reboot the computer. Well, what happened with me was I'd been going through boxes and testing them and stuff, and then I was going through motors. So then I plugged in mine. I used my box to test the motors and stuff, and on some of the other boxes to test their own motors. But and then when I plugged in my box, it didn't recognize it. You know, and the same thing happened to me. It didn't recognize. And let me see. And then you change it to the laptop, but even on the desktop, it was working too that night after. It's the strangest thing. And so what happened with me was the USB had the USB had gone bad. Rather, the USB had the software disconnected the USB. Sometimes that happens. And it only disconnected one of them. I swapped it over to the other one, and everything was fine. And I went and swapped it back, and it wasn't fine again. I rebooted the computer. Everything was perfect again. You know, step 1A, any technician will tell you.
Yeah.
Reboot the computer, turn everything on and off. Turn everything off. Make sure everything's connected, turn everything on.
Yeah.
And then odds are it will work fine. But, I mean,
yeah.
Don't worry, if you have any issue with it, just let me know. I'm and someone asked me that last week. They asked me, what if they have a problem outside the warranty period? You know, if it's a simple issue, I will likely be happy to volunteer. If it's a simple issue, I may volunteer my time to fix it at no charge to you. However, shipping both directions is on you, obviously. So it's sometimes if you know a driver's gone bad, I'd be happy to swap out a driver. But if you know how to swap out your own driver, the driver's $30, and shipping both ways is a total of about $43. So, you got to decide which you want. Now, you'll get it working from me. So, if you don't want to take a gamble, by all means. All right, let's do the next one. Okay, so I am doing my little router boxes here, and I think I am going to. No, I'm not done yet. I was about to seal this up, and that's why I have the long one. The very, very bottom.
Well, you got to keep that. It's got to be magnetized to hold that screw on, huh?
Oh, yeah.
No way, man.
All my tools are magnetized, and some of them not from the factory.
Yeah, I hear you.
I magnetize my own tools. See, right now I'm picking it up and putting it on through that's the beauty part about having this little hole down here. And I'll show you guys the little hole I'm talking about here. Hang on. So, as soon as I put this one screw on, nothing's ever easy. Especially this one. Wow. Time out. Yeah, there are some
well, Dave Clemens has asked a question of me. Asked, what do I recommend to convert an image to use as a 3D carve? And what I've been doing is a lot of times I will use I have Photoshop, but not the main program. I have Photoshop Elements, and I take that and I convert it to a grayscale image, and then I can suck that in and into Aspire and do the magic with Aspire.
Yeah.
I haven't done very many of them of my own, but I have done some. And mostly what I've been doing is just using other images that are already been done as STLs. But I have done some, and that's how I do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not a professed expert on Aspire, but it's bound you can probably do it in Aspire as well. So I'm just still learning it.
Yeah,
just like most other folks.
For the sign shop, for those of you who don't know, I had a sign shop for 12 years. And for the sign shop, we had a program called Photo VCarve. It was a specific one for photo images. And then I had another one, and I forget the name, which was for 3D images, because we did 3D images as well. And the key to any of those is it's all about the contrast.
Yes.
Like, for instance, when you're working with photo images, see, there's two different schools of thought. Well, let me go back to the 3D question before I move on to photo images. When you're working with 3D, it's all about it is all about the grayscale. You don't want any colors in there mucking it up, because there's going to be, Aspire will take there's Mr. Dave has joined us. Aspire and some other programs will take to convert the 3D image to a carve will it's not perfect. I saw a documentary one time on the Shroud of Turin, and it was really interesting because, and what was interesting about it was they were talking about 3D technology, these programs. Now, granted, this thing is like 10 or 20 years old, maybe the program. So technology, the software is better since then, but they were talking about the fact that if you take a person's face, like let's say you take my face with the shadows and everything, and you take a picture straight on, and then you convert it to grayscale, and you put it in one of these scanners, you can, through the shadows, get an approximate 3D representation, but it's not a true 3D representation. The funny part was the Shroud of Turin, they actually got a pure 3D representation, which was, absolutely fantastic. But that had a lot to do with the fact that since it was wrapped, it basically, it's not a picture. It actually wraps around the sides and things like that. So you can't do that with a regular picture. And so you can get as close as possible. The best thing to do, but this is more on the professional side, is to have a 3D camera with 2 images. And then, but that goes into professional. That's, Now, as far as and that's as far as, you can tweak and modify. And if you're an artist, you can do some magic with the 3D. But in the end, it's always tough to get that perfect representation. You got to get, you can get close. Yeah. And then now, as far as pictures are concerned, I'll tell you this. I've worked, I've forgotten more pictures that I've done than what most people will do in their lifetime in that sign shop. I was there was a time where I was doing tombstones for dogs, and people sent me a picture of their dog that had passed away, and on black onyx marble I would laser engrave the dog's picture, and with memory and all that stuff, and that's amongst many other pictures. Most of the stuff that I did was awards, acrylic awards. Now, whether it's marble or whether it's acrylic awards, hang on a second.
Well, while he's taking a breath, let me just say hello, Dave. By the way, you do have a question from William Malik.
Okay, I'll get to the question in a second. I'm sorry, my neighbor was asking me if my floodlight, if his shop floodlights bother me at night, and it's 400 feet away. No. Well, first of all, no, and second of all, when you have a neighbor who's a fellow woodworker,
they'll bother you.
The answer is no, automatic. Look, all night, man. No, it's hang on a second. Oh, I should ask him this. I'll ask him after the show. So the pictures. Now I was getting to the pictures. When you're laser engraving on either acrylic or marble, and in many cases wood, you're talking specifically with acrylic, and you don't have multiple grayscales. You have to understand that you do not have, like acrylic, either the laser can't burn it slightly and then it'll be oh no, it's either white or it's not.
Yeah.
With black whatever, it's either white or it's not. And I'll be happy to talk about inverting another day. But and with wood, believe it or not, it's very similar. It's either black or it's not. You might be able to get a few shades, but you will never get the level of shades that you can get, say, on a piece of paper. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is it's in the professional world, it's called dithering. You guys have heard of it, know what it is, some of you. Basically, what happens is there's a program called, I used to use a program called Photograv. I believe Photo VCarve may do it, but what they do is there's specific programs which will take, say, the dark and the light images and convert them into pure 2-bit black and white bitmap images, because that's what it has to be, a 2-bit. That's either black or white. Forget grayscale. You have to use for black. You have to use bigger dots. For white, no dots, and for grayscale, you have to use a random dispersal of black dots, small and large, randomly placed. And I've shown before in the past a picture of that I did on a few pictures of my face on a card and on some other stuff, and it came out perfect, but it's pure black and white, not grayscale. And so a lot of people have a problem with that, because the first time they'll engrave with the laser is they'll engrave something with grayscale, and anytime the laser fires on wood, it will turn it black, and then all of a sudden, like right now, look, I got a shine here on my forehead, and then this part here is darker stuff. Well, guess what? The shine is the only thing white. All you're going to get is the white spot here, a couple of little white reflections, maybe a little on the nose, and the rest will be all black, because that's how a black and white picture will turn out. If you graduate a little bit with the laser on wood, then you have a different. Well, anyway, that's what the Photo VCarve products do. Is that they dither it. So it has to be, it has to hit with dots.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a color laser printer. What did William? Okay, William had a question. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I was surprised when he was able to jog the X and Y at the same time. Is that expect? No, he did not jog the X and Y. Did you jog the X and Y at the same time, Dave?
He says he was surprised when I was unable.
Oh, unable to. Yes. Yes, you should expect that. That is a characteristic of USB controllers. Because they're parallel, you can put multiple signals. The bottom line is that's only in jog.
Not all USB controllers.
The UCC and C. If you want to pay a lot more for that, but, yeah, by all means. But jogging in two directions, I don't know. You can issue an MDI command, for instance. So if you want to go, what I do with mine is I have a home button that I made on my Mach 3. So rather than trying to figure out where I go and where, I just say home, and it'll go and automatically wherever it is, it'll go up and over and jog straight to home, which is the only thing you really want to jog, unless obviously you want to jog to a specific position. Yeah, the USB, the STB4100, that USB controller, and the 5100, and pretty much most of the USB controllers out there, other than the UCCNC, and other than a couple exceptions, the jog is only one direction at a time. Operation is all directions at a time, at the same time. So that's nothing to worry about in your program. So not too worrying, but yeah.
Well, and also to answer Dave Clemens' question, he says the images he has are already in grayscale. Aspire has a button to take those and make them 3D components from a bitmap image.
Right.
You have a button on there to just click it, and it'll make it a 3D component. Then you can do your sizing and all that other kind of stuff that you want to do to it, and with your wrench. So
here it is, folks. This is the router control, the Hobbybox router controller. And I got to put
pretty, ain't it?
It's pretty.
I like it.
It's pretty.
So you plug in you normally would have an extension cord going to your router. Well, now you have an extension cord going to this, and you plug your router into here. And this cable is pre-wired directly for the Hobbybox input number 1. It's already programmed. You don't have to do anything. You just plug it again, plug and play. All you do is plug it in, and when you run your program, when you hit cycle start, that light will come on, assuming you've plugged in the power. The light will come on, which means there's power to here. So you plug in your power directly to the outlet. You plug your router here. The router and the light will turn on as soon as you hit cycle start. Ooh, it'll do your thing, and when you're finished with the program, it turns off. And it turns the router off, and that's probably one of the handiest things to have, because I got to tell you, there are times where I just don't want to, and I don't recommend it, but do as I say, not as I do. But there are times where I do not feel like watching my CNC, so I just leave it alone. I start it, and I leave, and I forget it. I know where it's going. I have confidence in all the connections being tight. Even so, there's always a danger of something. Case in point, my laser burning because I left it for 5 minutes to go to the bathroom, and it almost burnt down my shop. So, you got to be careful. But anyway, but if you're doing some light work, nothing that can cause a fire, and you never know what can cause a fire or not, then, let the thing go, and it'll turn off when it's done, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Which is so nice, because I have had situations where my CNC, it's done, and then I forget it, and the router's been running for an hour and a half because I forgot to go back and turn it off.
Now, see, you and Dave are at the other end of the spectrum from me, because I just don't want to leave mine. I sit there and watch it.
Well, mine's normally in the same room with the computer, so if I'm working on the computer, it's fine. But sometimes, most of the time when I'm doing something like that, it's a pretty well shielded room as far as sound. So my office, it's on the other side of the kitchen. So I just go into the living room and watch some, there with my family watching TV. So I figure, well, let me get some family time in while I'm doing some work. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
Was that Jack or was that Rocky? Rocky. Which one? Which one was it? Okay. I guess that means both.
Yes.
They saw me pick up my dog and they went to barking.
And I swear I don't see anything outside, but they act like they were about to go through the front door there.
Yep, they tend to do that. All right. Let's do another one. All right, so. Go.
All right, taking the cover off or no?
Well, this is a little hard when it's glued and brad nailed.
Never mind. Work things the hard way. Go ahead.
Yeah. I know it's a shop tool, so nobody should be having little kids in their shop.
Right.
But I tried my best to. But I understand as a father, people have little kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make sure that they're as safe as possible. I got a grill cover on the fan, so no little kids will be sticking their fingers in the fan. I have this thing, basically this, when this one's white. I like the black ones myself. But
it's
anyway,
a heat sink?
Yeah, the heat sink. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
And when the heat sink is in place, it's very difficult to get your fingers in there into the high voltage stuff.
Yeah.
Little fingers are different. So I try to, there's no reason they should.
But that doesn't mean anything.
There's a lot of easier places to get electrocuted than this box. So and I don't expect the little kid to be in a room with a loud router going either. Because usually the first thing they'll do is and leave.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've been in there doing my router business, and my grandson and his mother, they come in and
yeah.
I've got headphones on because I think it's loud, and she brings her grandson in, my grandson, and he says, that's not too bad. The heck it ain't. Go get them headphones and put them on.
Yeah, really.
Philip Carter got a question for you.
There we go, Philip. All right, so he watched Mark Lindsay's video mistake. Did I say that?
That was a good one.
I watch Mark Lindsay as well.
Yeah, we all do.
I've got 3 switches hooked up in series. Follow the steps he talked about. For some reason, I can't get it to back off the switch. If you're using my box, do not follow Mark Lindsay's instructions. Well, no, wait a second. I don't know what his instructions are, so let me not say that. But I've had 2 or 3 people comment already on the instructions that they followed from somebody else. And you have to realize everybody wires everything differently. A lot of people wire it in parallel. Normally, some people wire it normally closed. Some people wire it normally open. You understand, of course, that mine are normally open, and any one of them can trigger it. So let's see. You followed the steps he talked about. For some reason, I didn't see the whole video, so I don't know what steps he talked about. So, yeah, let's see. So I can't get it to back off the switch when tripped. Got it. Okay. Dave, you got any input on that? It's been a long time since I've set up the homing thing. There is a...
Well, Philip said he has different inputs for his board.
Right? There's a script for the homing switches.
Well, he says can't. So when it hits the switch, is it turning on the reset button like you hit the reset button?
No. It's input number
I'm asking him because
I
don't know what his is doing.
Well, he's got the hobby box, so.
Yeah, I know, but regardless, if you're referencing all home, and it's running until it hits the switches, but it's tripping the reset, then something's not right.
All right. Well, he answered your question.
Oh, he said it was tripping the reset? Okay.
Yeah, and it just stops. Well, then there's something not right, because when you're doing the homing sequence, it should go hit the thing and then back off. And I think
what he
got
said,
my 3 open right here. Let me look.
No, what he said was he can't get it to back off the switch when tripped.
Yeah. It stays there and doesn't back off.
It stays there and doesn't back off. And that is now. Let me ask you, Dave, because I know how it is with the probe, but with the homing switch,
Okay.
is the script as well.
Hold on here, folks. Y'all getting ahead of yourselves here.
Yeah.
Everybody just calm down. Let me share my hold on here. Let me get some of this other stuff off. I got Mach 3 open over here. I think I might know what his problem is.
You want a screen share?
Please. Well, I guess I got to do it first, don't I?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Okay. Now, right here where it says home off, if I'm not mistaken, you have to put a number in there to tell it how far to back off the thing. So by default, it'll be 0. So if you don't have that something put in there, it's probably gonna. I need to look. Let me look in my Mach 3 manual. When all else fails, read directions, right?
You know, men don't read.
Let me pull it over here and find my Mach 3.
Yeah, let me look at my Mach 3 as well.
Because I think
that sounds just like what he's saying, though. It just stopped and doesn't bounce back.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a number.
Because there, yeah, and I think that's where you put it at, where it says home off. I think that's the distance you put in and tell it how far back off the switch you want it to come. Because you could tell it to come an inch off if you wanted to. But let me look and see what I can find.
Starting my computer up. So.
While you're looking, we got Al Forte just joined the group.
Yeah, how's it going?
That would be Kilroy
79763, by God.
Yeah, something. I can't ever remember the number.
Oh, that's a zip code. I'll never forget that one.
All right, let's see. Here's I just now found my thing here.
My Mach 3 don't look like that.
All right, well, it's on this page, so let me just see if I can search somewhere in here and find home off. Okay.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. I'm running my Mach 3 now just so I can catch it. Mach 3.
That's not what I'm looking for there. This stupid search thing, you put in exactly what it says, because like right here, it says home off. Let's see. Yeah, home off. But anyway, while we're looking for this, you could try just one axis, Philip. Like take your x-axis and put a number in there and see if that works. And there's also, I see Dave Kraus talking about in setting auto limit override. There's another way where you can check a box that says when you hit a limit switch, you hit the reset and you can drive it off. You don't have to turn the machine off and back it off manually. You can override it and drive it off under power, which is how I have mine set up.
Yeah, what I might do is for the every now and then I do update the
Paul. Yeah, I'm clicking on the comments like I'm running things. I'm so used to having all the control. Yeah. But Paul says, "Are they set up as limit switches or homing?" That's the other thing too. If you've got them set up as limit and not homing,
they are set up as both.
Did he say that? Okay.
Yeah, it's all. They are set up as both. I mean, anyone can feel free to buy another set of limit switches and set them up as something else. But I mean,
Philip says he has the auto override feature enabled. Marcelo says it's interesting because his back off from there, and he has 0 in that home spot.
Okay, well maybe that's not where it is then. I was thinking that's
well. My question to you guys, and I don't know if you know this, is there a script that you can manipulate for the homing, or is it built into Mach 3, the homing?
It's built in, I believe, because I've never been able to.
All right, let me look and see.
Well, I don't know. Now that I said that, let's see if we can change it.
Well, Marcelo says auto limit override in the settings tab.
Oh yeah, you can change it, but there's nothing about this is it right here.
Where is it? Oh, there is. It is there. Okay, hang on a second. Where is it in underwear?
When you come up to operator and hit edit button script, and then the buttons that you're allowed to change are flashing, just click reference all home, and that's what pops up.
Okay, operator. All right, let's see. What you're under program run menu? Yeah.
Well, you go. It doesn't matter which page you're on. You can go to the top up here where it says operator.
Operator.
Click that and then drop down to edit button script.
Got it. And click reference all home.
Yeah, and then click reference all home, and that's the.
Okay, so it says. Okay, do button 23, 24, 22, and 25. Now I got to see what button. That's simple programming. But now, okay, gotcha. So. No, all it did was 0 that. It didn't. Hang on a second.
Paul Stewart says you can modify the reference all script.
Hang on a second. Yeah, VB script editor. Okay. No.
Okay, Philip says because that's the only way he's got that feature enabled, the auto override. Yeah. And that's how it's supposed to work. You have that enabled so that if you hit a limit switch when you're running or whatever, you can just drive it off. You don't have to shut the power off and then turn the lead screw by hand or something like that. You can drive it off after resetting the reset button, of course.
Now let me ask you something. When you go to the offsets tab, what's that all about? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, that's all your G53 through or
okay, got it.
259.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I did a show on that one time.
Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Yeah, I just wasn't sure about that. Okay, so let's see. Encoder positions, rotation diameter, spindle putting through around. And you turn the auto limit right on, right, or off?
Let's see, what was that called?
Let me go again to ports and pins. Let's see. So you said input signals. There they are.
Limits. Yeah,
Hotkey, port, pin. Okay. So that's fine. Motor outputs, input signals, encoder, spindle setup, mill options. Okay. So it's not under ports and pins.
Okay. I think I'm getting warm now, finding where it says it in this manual. 5.6.1, configure homing and soft limits. All right, let me scroll on down there and see what I can find.
Good evening, Mervin. Poppy's Woodshed's in the house.
Hey, Mervin, how's it going?
Is that his name? I just call him Poppy.
Yeah, it's Mervin.
I can never remember that.
I know it's hard. They get so many of them. But Paul Stewart's saying you can modify the reference all script to where you can bounce it back from that point when it hits it. Is that what you're meaning?
Well, see, oh, here we go. It's the Auto Tool 0. Hang on a second. That's what I was looking for. Hang on, wait up. Now, when you go to okay, reference all home. I'm familiar with the WinCNC. I'm not familiar with Mach 3. I haven't become familiar with it yet. Been too busy building these boxes to actually use all the features in them.
Yeah, there's a lot of features.
Yeah, configure plugins. That's not it. I could tell you it is in a script. I just have to find the script. Or if it's, I mean, I was hoping it was, I mean, well, yeah. Now you found, okay, so, okay, homing limits. There it is. Config homing limits. Oh, yeah, you got the home offsets here. I'm sorry. Did you try that already and it didn't work? Why is that one clicked on? Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, it's what you're looking for should be in config, and then your motor. Tell me if you've done this already. Go to your config, and then go to homing limits, and where it says home off.
He said he changed the number and no difference.
And no difference. Hang on a second. Let me see what we got here.
Did you try changing it to a negative number? Because I'm not sure which way it needs to go.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
Because if you put the wrong one, it may look like it's doing the same thing, but it just can't get to the
right. It can't move.
I could run out and fire mine up out there. Because see that the bad thing is here in this office, none of this stuff is set up.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
I'll tell you one thing. By next show, I'll have a box set up and I'll run some motors. Even though I can't see it actually doing anything, I could see whether the motors move off the.
Let me restart this thing and open up a different profile.
And then there's what's G28?
That's home. Where you're telling it where home is.
Yeah, because it has home location coordinates. And let me see.
Philip said it wasn't a negative number either.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't going to be set up either because I'm in here in the office.
Clyde DeBonnie's asking, is it called a homing switch pull-off in Mach?
Yes. That's exactly what it's called. Okay, here we go.
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
do something.
I came across one person who had the same issue, and reinstalling Mach 3 fixed the issue. He had an issue with Mach 3 for some reason. I don't know if that's going to be your case, because they said it doesn't. He set the he used an offset. He said it's not backing off at all when the home says it's against the switch. And then you have a problem with your Mach 3 installation, which could be the software, in which case reinstall Mach 3. And then the guy replied back, okay, reinstalling Mach 3 fixed the issue. That's just one thing that I've read. Now, I don't want to, let me see, won't back off. Here we go. Okay, sounds like you have the soft limits configured such that you get to the home switches. Mach 3 would have to go past the soft limits. Okay, let me see what that is.
Does Philip Carter have soft limits turned on too?
Well, there's a soft minimum built in of -100 into the, but I don't know whether he has them. Let me see whether he has them. I mean, because I'm assuming he used obviously he used the file that I have. Let's see here.
I'm going to run out there and look at mine real quick. It'll take me a second to fire it up, but it boots up pretty quick.
All right.
I'll be back.
We'll be here. Let's see. Program run. Okay. MIDI. Settings. Little by little, I'm looking through everything. Let's see. Because if this problem ever happens again,
you'll have an answer.
Yeah, let me see. Hang on a second. Give me a second for the soft limits question.
Well, Marcelo said he watched a lot of videos on setting up homing and limit switches, and none of them said to change home off.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. A soft limit. Okay, yeah, you can set both hard and soft limits. The system will not allow a user to exceed the hard limit. However, system administrator may set a soft limit, which can temporarily be exceeded by the user. Soft limit must be less than the hard limit. Let's see here. Still searching.
Well, it's so much easier than to use mine without limit switches.
Hey.
I don't mess with none of that.
My printer is on its way.
Yeah, it's let's see here. Individual home all, soft limits. Yeah, I mean you got to turn off the soft limits, but that's not going to be an issue here. I mean, that's not an issue with CS with the that shouldn't work. I mean, hang on a second. Let me see. Let me read on to this guy's issue and see if
After I went out there and started to fire it up, it suddenly dawned on me that I don't think that home off does anything.
Yeah.
It's just a thing I think that's built into Mach 3 to tell, because what it's looking for is it's looking to find that switch, and then it backs off till the switch changes again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever distance that takes.
Right.
So.
Okay, try this. Try.
Talking about the.
I have an idea that might work. Let's see if this works. Hang on. I don't know for certain, but it's quite possible this will solve your problem. Go to ports and pins. Config ports and pins. Philip, and let me see. Marcelo, this all started with him watching the Mark Lindsay video, so that's not it. But I appreciate the comment. Okay, go to ports and pins. Now, you see where it says I have on there on the limits, I have X plus, X minus, and home and X home on every one of those. Okay, now disable X plus, X minus, Y plus, Y minus, Z plus, Z minus. Disable those the max and minimum limit switches, so only the homing switches are enabled. And and try it then, but keep your finger on the escape key just in case it tries to go past. Because
so
yeah,
when you're checking these hobby boxes, do you have limit switches on your or homing switches on your gas?
No,
Okay.
I do not. I haven't. I offer a probe. I offer limit switches. They trigger the diagnostics, but that's as far as I've tested them because I don't. I mean, I'm 7 boxes behind, and I'm just trying to build these things fast enough. Which is why, by the way, for all of you that came in late during September, I'm taking a sabbatical from the hobby boxes. I will not be building any hobby boxes during September. Let me see. I'm sorry, not September, August. So, in order to, so feel free to place orders, but instead of 3 to 6 weeks, it'll probably be 7 to 10 weeks.
So there's not going to be a 4th of July sale?
No way. No
Half
way.
off?
No way. And after September, depending on how things go, there may be another price hike because, honestly, I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but it's all about supply and demand and my time. And when I'm spending pretty much the entire week that I should be spending working on my property building these things, and it's taking me an entire day and a half to build one. And it's either quit building them all together or charge more. It's and I don't want to. I want to keep it down to a normal price, but it is what it is. So, yeah. Philip, did you try that? Okay. Oh, okay. He says he's going to worry about it later, but let me, again, one person, like I said, their issue was they reinstalled Mach 3 and everything worked fine. I know that some of the pirated copies of Mach 3 will not work with this box. That's a guarantee. I mean, all the features.
Another thing too, Hobby, is, and I'm not saying Philip's doing this, but a lot of times when you change stuff in Mach 3, just to make sure, you need to save those settings and then close it out and reopen it.
Right.
You don't know, sometimes Mach 3 is funny that way. Some things take right now without having to restart it, and other things you have to restart it. But you always want to do the config, then slide down to where it says save settings after you've changed everything the way you want, and then restart it.
Yeah, and the fact that Philip had also another issue earlier, intermittent as it was, I'm starting to. I'm starting to suspect either the computer or the software not functioning 100%, because I mean, I've currently I've got about 32 boxes out there. I would say half of them are now a third at the most, maybe 10 to 15 are connected and running. And because I've had feedback from people, and of those, there are a few with limit switches on them, and they haven't had an issue. So I got to get together with 2 or 3 of my customers and find out if they did anything. And like I said, by Wednesday, hopefully, I'll be able to. I'll finish up one of these boxes and I'll test it live here on Wednesday. But yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'd just like to say one other thing, then I'll shut up. And this isn't a dig on Mark Lindsay, but you got to remember, when you're trying to get your machine set up and you're watching other YouTube videos, it doesn't matter who you're watching. If they're don't have the same setup you do, you probably better not even watch them.
Don't watch them if they don't have the same setup. No, plain and simple.
You think, oh, well, it's probably close enough. Well, no, it may not be. And you'll do something and get that stuck in your head that it's got to be the way that it is in their video, and it may not work at all with what you've got if you've got a different system. So the hobby box, I can tell you, Mark runs the old Xylotex box, and it's way different than the hobby box. So
yeah, and it doesn't have any inputs and outputs. It's all ports and pins. It's parallel ports. So it's
I don't think he's even running a USB thing. I think he's still doing the parallel port.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So those are different pins, and Mach 3 reacts differently with that. But Philip, I don't have a problem. You said no worries. Don't rack your brain. Now I mean, I want you to get it up and running. So I'm happy to help. But
they do run super excellent without any kind of switches. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's true.
Keep it simple. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, those are little bells and whistles is what I call them. They're nice to have, especially the homing switches. Those are really nice to have.
Oh yeah, I can't do without them. I'm sorry. To me, they're necessary.
I can't run my CNC machine. I don't have homing switches. Now you can run it. I ran one for years without anything on it.
Have no problems without them.
I can't run mine without them.
All right, we cover both ends of the spectrum, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't need them.
Yeah, it's like the touch probe. It's like, oh my God, to go back to the paper.
Yeah, I'd rather have the probe, but I'm still using the paper.
Oh my God.
I have the probe.
Well, you ought to be good at the paper by now.
I'm really good at the paper.
I can't take that paper. I can't. And for me, I'm spoiled because for me, I also have on one of my machines, and I'm going to put it on the Gatton eventually. I have the Auto Tool measuring device. It's an Auto Tool touch plate, which in between bit changes, as I mentioned earlier, in between bit changes, it will actually measure the difference between the last bit and this bit and re-zero Z. So it'll run, you can run one tool path, it'll tell you change bits, you change the bit, and it'll remeasure it and automatically recalculate Z for you, so you just continue. But I mean, if you only have one bit and you're only doing, one thing, then no big deal. But anyway. Yeah. No, it is cool to have the homing switches. I agree. I agree with them.
Not necessary.
Well, as of right now, I currently have, well, I have more than two machines, but of the two big machines, I have my Gatton out there, which I currently have not set up the homing switches with the hobby box, but only because I haven't got to it yet. And then, of course, I have the Avid, which does have homing switches, so I can play either way. It doesn't matter to me.
Yep. I will definitely.
If you don't have homing switches, you have to be very smart about when you set your zero and you're going to be doing a run longer than, say, 10 minutes. Always stop and think, okay, well, if this thing quits in the middle of this, how am I going to get my zero back?
That's the beautiful thing about homing switches.
If you got homing switches, no worries.
For me, I home my machine, and my machine, the way I configured it, that the corner of that spoil board is 0, 0 exactly. So yeah, I could put a laser on it and reset it, but the homing switches don't move. So I go click, 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 and if I lose power, God forbid, or I want to come back another day, all I got to do is 0, 0, 0, and there it is. Hey Keith, how's it going?
Keith.
But yeah, let's see.
I thought I had YouTube, but I guess I closed it out when I opened the other stuff.
Okay, let's see here.
Well, folks, we're still working on the second box.
Yeah. Well, I got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, a little bit.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I can't get much done. I mean, I do, but when I'm here and I'm chatting with you guys, my priority is not. I'm getting stuff done ahead, but my priority is answering questions. This is the time I give to the community to, whatever you want. You ask a question on this. You're having an issue with one of your boxes. You want to know about how I wire my boxes or something else. Here's where I'll answer it, because anybody that sent me an email saying, hey, how do you do this? Or what do you do this? Or what do you do this? They're going to get an auto email response saying, hey, come watch the show. Because I ain't answering. This is not, that's not my time. I mean, that's not your time. This is your time. So I'm not worried whether I do 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah, I'll be up for a while. As far as the router boxes, I'm ahead. So that's as far as the hobby boxes, I'm a little behind. But the thing is, I always get one with the other. So
so no July 4th sale.
No,
that's a shame.
No
that
July.
Shame.
No July 4th sale.
I was counting on it.
Yeah.
Sale every holiday, man. Every holiday got to have a sale.
Yeah. Well,
Dave does it with his. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe Dave don't do it.
Dave may have a sale. I don't know. But I meant to do that. Let me go back to the website. I got distracted here. Let me go back to so I can put the announcement on.
Clyde's asking, what software does the Avid use, Dave?
Whatever one you want.
Well, if you buy from them, they try to sell you Mach 4 for $200 that you can run on one computer. But
nah.
I ordered mine. I told them, I said, I don't, because at first I told them what I wanted, and they send me a quote thing, but it's just the same prices. It's not like you get any break in price, but anyway, they had the Mach 4 on there for $200, and I said, no, you can take that off the quote because I'm going to be using Mach 3. And they have, if you go to their website, they have Mach 3 and Mach 4 XML files, which is the machine profiles for every possible setup that you have. Like if you got a 4x4 or a 4x2 or a 4x8 or whatever, you just download the correct XML file for the size machine, for the size steppers, and assuming you're getting their plug and play control and everything. And I mean, you don't do anything. You just turn it on and go. But yeah, I use Mach 3 with mine because I've had Mach 3 for years. I can put it on as many computers as I want to. And most importantly, it works.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, I don't fix it.
Yep.
Okay, so
Puffy says, have a good evening, guys. Elbow cough, elbow cough. I hope that don't mean Rona.
Yeah. Hope it don't transfer through the interwebs.
I've got McAfee virus protection. I should be good.
Yeah, son, I've got malware killer. I'll kill it before it gets you.
I don't know. I haven't checked to see if it's guards against corona.
Yeah, that'd be something to ask them. Yeah, but they get a kick out of that.
Yeah, I have anti-corona hobby boxes. There are there are you buy one and corona goes away.
My God, there you go.
Yeah, you buy one, and if you have the coronavirus, you'll be guaranteed to get rid of it within within 2 weeks.
Within 14 days, because you'll be self-quarantining with your machine out in the shop.
Absolutely. And regardless, it usually goes away within 3 or 4 days anyway. So, so I'm pretty safe making that comment.
Yeah, Clyde, you're right. It's not proprietary software. They recommend, of course, they're trying to sell you stuff, so they try to sell you Mach 4 with it, but it's not a proprietary Avid only stuff. And I wouldn't have bought one if it was. I'm not into that. Machines that use that proprietary stuff.
I don't know, even that machine that old boy bought third hand, that 4x8 machine I was telling you about, came from China originally. It was a China machine, and it used Mach 3. And all he had to do was buy the Vectric software. Cooking with gas.
Good deal.
Okay. Current build time 3 to 5 weeks. Notice no assembly during September. Order now before build time goes up to.
I thought you said August.
Weeks.
You did.
Oh, yeah.
August.
Yeah, I gotta fix that.
Make up your mind. You close it
I
down 2 months.
I did say August. I actually.
First, you started out before the show. It was September.
Yeah,
and
no, I know.
Get until October. Now it's August. Pretty soon it's going to be July.
You got time.
No, it's August.
For sale.
It's what are we in now? We're in July, right? No, we're in June. Okay, good. We're in June, so they can order throughout. Okay, good.
Well, then you got time for the July 4th sale then.
Tell him it's 2020, so he knows what.
There will. Mark, look. What's your face, Russ? Mark, you got me.
Did call me Mark?
Mark. No,
I'm sure you've been called worse.
I'm saying, mark my words. There will be no sale ever. Maybe $50 off.
So should I?
If I'm ever caught up a year from now.
So should I disable the Hobbybox link for the month of now you got me saying the wrong month.
No, they can continue to buy it. They can continue to buy it. But I'm not.
It'll just be put on the list, and
it'll just be put on. It'll be put on hold. It'll be put on the waiting list. So basically, up until I would say, if they buy one now, they'll be getting it within. They will get it by August. If they buy one up until I would say up until July 4th. So there's your July 4th sale. If you buy after July 4th, you won't get it until buy now and receive by August. If not, you'll get it in October.
I think I may run a sale just so everybody will have to buy a hobby box.
Sounds good to me.
But Dave, you ought to get a little kickback on that.
I don't need no kickback.
We don't need no stinking kickback.
I got Uncle Roy in my corner.
There you go.
Well, I don't know who's this guy is, but
let's see here.
The last guy.
That's Hobby's cousin or something.
No.
Are you speaking English? Hello?
Yeah, if Epsi Sigma. Well, you know how
Sigma is a college fraternity.
Well, you know how I feel about non-names, so blocked. Have a nice day.
Well, there you go, folks.
William Maggart's pointing out another
let me see here.
typo. I think if that's the same one, that might be the same one I told you about a while back.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. 425. My God, my mind is going. And I've had that typo there for a while. I've looked at it once or twice. Thank you very much for that. Let me fix that immediately. Frequently answered questions. Number 14, right? Okay, number 14. And DM. Wow. Yeah, I do that all the time. It's I transpose the 542, which I've just corrected, with the
ounces
425 ounce. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I've never said it was 542 ounce. I've never made that mistake, but I keep mixing it up. But yeah,
I can see
Thanks,
where
Willie.
you'd make that one.
Yeah. So let me. Okay, so that's taken care of.
I guess I should do a thumbs up while I'm here.
I already did mine.
Okay.
Always appreciated
to get to 10 here. Come on, folks.
Okay, so let's see what.
Off that thumbs up button. We got, there we go, 10, 11, 12. Look at there.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right on.
13.
We can't go to stage 2 here because 0 miles from here is migrant workers that have it. Oh, that sucks. That stinks. Yeah, it's so funny because depending on where let's see here, just reading the comments, depending on where in Florida I am at the time. In Miami, I gotta suffer with the stupid regulations and stuff because
put that mask on, buddy.
You know, it's going to get to the point. I mark my words once again. I'm going to make a prediction. It's not a good prediction. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to make a prediction that pretty soon this country, as polarized as it is, are going to be filled with the mask wearing people are going to be saying, if they haven't already, are going to be saying that if you wear a mask, you're against Trump, and if you don't wear a mask, you're for Trump. I'll continue not wearing my mask, but it's going to get that way where all Republicans are not wearing masks, and then pretty soon, you know, your vote is not private anymore.
Yeah.
You know, now everybody can tell, oh, look what you are. You know, that's I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm disappointed I didn't get my Amazon order today.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm.
I was telling one of you two earlier. I don't know if it was just earlier today, Dave, or Russ, you in the hangout just before. Oh yeah, it was Russ. I was talking to him because he was the post office guy.
Yeah.
I ordered something. I went to go place an order, and they said it'll be here Wednesday. And then I go to change the address. The address was my. I'll tell you what the address was in a second, but I changed the address to my P.O. box, and it put it 1 day later. And I go, well, that sucks. So I changed the address back. Now the address is my post office allows me to place their physical address with a suite number. You know, so my post office box is such and such. So I put their address, comma, number sign, such and such. And and so they get, so it's the same as saying P.O. Box, such and such. It goes to the same place that P.O. Box, such and such. Amazon sometimes can't deliver to a P.O. Box, but they can to address number such and such, and which is a P.O. Box. And then, but the funny part was about this one was that they would deliver it a day later if I put the P.O. box. Like, well, okay, I wanted a day earlier. I'll put the address. Makes no difference to my post office. They're still going to drop it off in the same place. But, man, that irks
Crazy.
me. Yeah, it's nuts. Crazy rules. Let's see. Wife had a test today, so she has...
If she has it.
if she has it, I do too. Yeah, there you go. 542 is 50 volt, 4.2 amp. Where did I? Okay, let me go back to my frequently asked questions because I probably got that wrong as well. Let me see. Best choice, 15. However, if you get the pay for I burned out 6 with 2 amps right there. Not made for. They're designed for much smaller. Okay, good. Yeah, no, I never mentioned the amperage because some of these they actually say 48, some say 50. It's really strange. I mean, it depends on the manufacturer. There are multiple, as you guys know, manufacturers of DM542s, and some of them, they're basically all the same parts, but some of them rate them differently. I've had some DM542s where you can actually hot swap the motor and no problem. The DM542Ys, some of them, you can hot swap the motor, no problem. Yet most of the DM542s, you hot swap a motor and the thing will go and it'll
yeah.
You know, it's dangerous to say the least. So
I don't hot swap nothing.
No, don't hot swap anything. They say it's not good to wear a mask if you have breathing problems. It lowers your oxygen level. Well, yeah, I would say that too. They also say unless you have the N95. Yeah, that's one thing people don't realize. It's like the only thing the mask is good for is if you sneeze, big droplets won't come out.
Mm-hmm.
But a mask, let's put it this way, a mask, most masks are worse than coffee filters. And coffee filters go down to 100 microns. Well, guess what? The coronavirus is 60 microns. So, whoom, right through it. Now, for those of you that say if you can smell a gas, I was about to say one of the F words. Yeah, that one. Potty mouth.
There with the PG rating.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, we're not.
It is what it is, man.
All right. Some say that if you
we're all about keeping it real, man.
Flatulence.
Some say if you can smell your flatulence, you can catch corona, which of course is not true because it's down to the micron level on a 0.5 microns, I think it is for that. But
it's amazing how much knowledge he has in his head about the microns of a fart.
He don't know my farts.
Yeah. No.
We're not going there, folks.
Mine are worse than Jack's. I'll put it that way. That's
no wonder his wife keeps him out there in the shop so much.
That's exactly right, and that's
that's a story for another time, folks.
That's you guys. I don't like chili. I'm not a chili person, so
I love chili.
If I would probably be explosive if I had chili because as it is, the pizza ones are the worst.
Man, I can imagine.
And not to get any more crude on this subject, but because I don't want. But
it's too late.
Yeah.
It's all gone downhill.
There's something, and I don't know why. I don't understand why. But for me, when I'm in a bookstore, standing in front of some books, that is very often when the SBDs emerge. And so don't come to a bookstore with me. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that that's when I notice them, and the rest of the time, I'm in the air and they just fly away. But I don't know what it is. Luckily, I'm not one of those guys that has them during elevator time. because
Oh Lord,
I wouldn't
talk about a confined space,
yeah. So
captive audience.
enough of that. So let's see. Let's see.
Clyde says you better drill some holes in that container if you're going to have that problem.
Yeah, there you go. Let's say.
Dave says, bring on the chili.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just glad we can see them.
You can't see the farts, man. I'm sorry.
Well, no, he was earlier. I think I don't know. I guess he's talking about the masks, not the fart. Yeah.
Okay.
Bring on the chill. Oh yeah.
Chili.
I'm glad we could see them. He's probably in a northern state where they can see them.
Oh, he put correct. He said can't see.
Oh, can't see them. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because it better drill some holes in that container. I've got holes in the container. Yeah. Well, yeah.
We ran Troy out.
Yeah, ran Troy out. Good night, Troy.
Here, Troy, before you go, pull my finger.
Wow. Yeah, this is definitely not gone the direction I was expecting tonight.
So I have to rename this video.
Flatulence are us. All right, so okay.
Back to the spindle boxes, folks.
Yeah, now in out. I even forgot. See, I'm very anal retentive, so I put the out on the right side and I put the in on the left side, and I just want to make sure that I want to be consistent, because when somebody's asking me, very often somebody will ask me a question about something, and I'll say, "Oh, well, do the yellow wire or the red wire or whatever, Yeah. Don't cut the green wire, But but I just want to make sure, because then somebody will say, "What? I connected it to that? Oh, it's on the other side."
By the way, do y'all want to know what the latest StreamYard update was?
Oh, what was it?
Tell me, please.
You see down there at the bottom of your screen, Russ, where those 3 buttons are?
3 buttons?
Your little picture.
I see those now.
If you click on them, you can now edit your name. Used to, you put in your name and then that was it.
Yeah.
But they added that in case somebody put a name that the host didn't like. The host can like Javi, you could actually edit my name. Right.
Those little buttons right there on my picture.
Well, I say you can. I don't know if that's with the free version or not. Try it and see if you can edit my name.
I'm editing it. I'm already ready. I'm already editing. Let's see here.
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
I see where I can edit. I don't know if he can.
Yeah, I think he should be able to.
He probably can, being as he started.
I'm thinking.
Oh Lord, here we go. Oh, good night, folks.
I don't know. I can't think of anything good, so I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I can edit it. Yeah.
And we can as well. I mean, we can't edit yours, but we can edit our own.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then they're also coming out Tuesday. They're coming out with what is it? Mobile, being able to host with a mobile thing, which to me that ain't a big deal for me because I don't do mobile. But that was the big thing. The silver-haired fox.
Oh, don't put nothing on mine. Hey, wait a minute. That's a full-faced lie.
About hair.
All right. I got one. Then the
postal hippie.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. Yeah, mine will be all right.
I'm gonna leave mine like it is.
I'll just. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here we go, Russ and me.
The missing hair stud. Oh my!
Yeah, man. So there you
Oh,
go.
now you see it. Yeah. I was in a crazy mood. Been in a nutty mood on. Must be the igloo. Lack of oxygen in this place.
William Magnus said Mexican hairless.
The Mexican hair. Yeah, Mexican.
Where did you come up with that one?
All I can say is, man, if Eloy was here.
Oh, he would have a field day with that one.
Oh my God, Eloy Escojedo would hate your living guts because me, I don't care what you call me. I'm red-blooded American, but Eloy is Cuban American, and if you call him Mexican, he will shout ignorant at you 10 ways from Sunday and start a rant that you will be sorry that you started.
Yeah. That's what I had a friend of mine tell me that Mexican and Cuban and Puerto Rican, they don't like each other.
Well,
the ethnicity.
The ethnicity. Well, let's put it this way. The not to get into something, but and this is not my opinion. This is the general consensus of the Cubans. The Puerto Ricans are the Polish of the Cubans.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the Polish jokes? You know, and then we are so far away from Mexicans that we don't see Mexicans. I mean, in Miami, there's some Mexicans in the Mexicans don't come to Miami. There's too many damn Cubans and South Americans. I mean, Venezuelans, and I mean, there's been an influx of Venezuelans like crazy, you know. So, but anyway, not getting into anything, but yeah, I don't. I only know Mexican jokes from American television because I don't really. Now, Puerto Rican jokes I know from Cuban culture. You know, it's prevalent. I mean, it's you know, every other joke is it's the did you ever that age old one, you know, enter ethnicity here, this guy goes on his did you see the one with the monkey and the ethnic persuasion going on a rocket to the
I think I heard that one.
Yeah, basically it was, you know, the monkey is pressing buttons, and then the monkey's pressing some more buttons, you know, and the other guy, enter ethnicity here, derogatory ethnicity here, says wow, this monkey's really impressive. I can't wait to open my orders like they told me. It's going to be really, really impressive, you know. So the monkey's pressing this and pressing that and doing this and doing that. And then the enter ethnicity here opens up the thing and he reads his instructions. Every 10 minutes, give the monkey a banana.
Yeah. I got you. I'd heard that one before.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, as far as that's concerned, I mean, you know, it's
Dave Clemens has a question.
Yeah. Looking for let me see, where am I here? Here we go. What camera and mic are you boys using? Okay. Well, at home, I have phenomenal with the Logitech, the C930, 940, 920, all those cameras are fantastic. Highly recommend. The mic I'm using right now, I'm using a USB noise canceling USB mic, USB headset. It's 21, 22 bucks, you know. So the mic is fantastic. This one here, the headset mic. The camera I'm using now is the actual iMac FaceTime camera, and this is an old iMac. This is a 2009, so it's a pretty old technology and stuff. Depending on whether you see me clearly or not, I don't know if you guys are seeing me clearly because the camera's phenomenal even back then, but the internet connection that I have here is abysmal.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming in fuzzy, that's the reason why. It's not the camera, it's the connection. Dave, I believe, also has a Logitech, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, C920. And I want to know if Dave Clemens is asking because he's wanting to get set up to come on the CNC with Dave show and talk about his whatever.
Yep, absolutely. We're looking for people.
Once you get set up, you got no
I use a little Blue Yeti.
Yep.
Although it's called Blue Yeti, but it's black. I don't know why.
I got the same one.
And at home, I have a CAD 4600 XL. It's a large diaphragm mic. So, but I use that mostly for recording because it's got it allows me my deep bass voice. But when you hear it from that mic, it's like, oh my God, it's it's Chuck Berry or whatever his name is. Not Chuck Berry, the other one, Barry White.
Oh yeah, the deep
big
voice.
difference. Than Chuck
yeah,
Berry.
Big difference.
But anyway, for streaming, I mean, we've had Ryan and Jim Sinicola on Dave's show, and numerous people have come here on this show with nothing more than an iPhone. I mean, you can get on your iPhone and let me actually get on my iPhone and show you guys the iPhone.
Yeah, I've been able to do the StreamYard with my Android phone.
Yeah. And let's see here. Open in Safari. And that way I could show you guys the whole place. I will have to mute myself so I don't echo like it will echo. All right, mute. And let's see here. Righty. I don't know how well this will work, but because it's extremely jaggedy. Oh, let me turn myself sideways.
There you are.
Here I am, folks. And
by God, he is no prettier on either camera than he is on the other.
I'm telling you. Well, I will show you the back. I'll show you the back of my shop now that I can with a movable camera here. So you've got the. I can't even. Hang on. I gotta make sure I see myself.
That's a little bit of narcissistic.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's go full narcissistic. Hang on. There we go. All right. So this is now I lost myself over here. Come on.
All he really needs is a laptop camera built in that I use and a plug-in microphone.
Yeah.
So it don't take much.
So recently I put in this insulation throughout the whole thing. That's why my place looks a little darker. Now, by the way, those are hobby boxes up there. And let's see. This is my newly acquired shelf. Big deal. And then so I have a whole bunch of stuff there on my shelf. There is my setup with this is my security cameras. This at the moment you're seeing me. This is my desk. A cluttered desk is a sign of genius. Well,
that's what I've said.
I don't need a cluttered desk to show my genius, but anyway, that is, well, obviously the light. Walk into the light. The AC, the dangling of cables. And then we shall continue. Behind me, you see the door. You see the arcade machine, as always, underneath it. The fridge. Oh, and obviously the pile of. Let me see how I can do this better. There we go. The pile of all the different pieces for the hobby box. My fridge, which is probably the most important because that's where I keep all my Diet Cokes. That's very, very important. And back up to the mess here. And in fact, let me just take you slightly outside the window here. Slightly outside the door. This is my container. And over here, if my cord doesn't drag me. Now, you'll notice, let me see if I can get far enough away here. Hang on. You see what those are?
Yep.
Those are lined. I got about 30 boxes. That's where I ship my motors. The boxes that I line them up and stuff. And right here, I should have some more. Those are spindle boxes that I'm building. Well, anyways, that's that. Let me exit stage left and go back to the boom.
Well, I believe y'all got Dave Clemens hooked. He's got a couple of cameras coming. They're going to be here tomorrow.
Sweet, sweet.
You got him on the line. Got him hooked.
Well, Dave, let me know if you want in. We'll have a little chat on Wednesday, and we can pipe you in here. And I hear my phone. My phone is still echoing because the StreamYard is still on. Come on, leave. There we go. And yeah, more than happy to have you on. Let's see if I'm going to finish building this box, and then we'll call it quits for tonight because it's already 10 o'clock. So let me. This should be a quick. In fact, it's already 10 o'clock. Let me shut her down. So you guys, you have a wonderful. These are security cams. Let's see. I ordered cameras. You guys mentioned supposed to be here tomorrow. Oh, the security cams he was talking about. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, wait a second. Let me catch up. I'm sorry. I'm like okay. Well, camera and mic boys. Blah blah blah. We did that one. Hi, Dave. Where do I find the Gatnier map? Keith is asking.
You won't find it right now. It's
okay.
not. It's not live on the website.
All right. So possibly soon, maybe not. Okay. Let's see. Looking for someone in New Hampshire or Vermont. Been fun. Have a good one, Philip. And I'll see you Wednesday. And let's see. Possibly need to get a setup in my office. Won't be till mid-July. Okay, mid-July. That one. So Dave won't have his till mid-July. Yeah, if you've got a Samsung, I mean, you could easily do what I just did, and you put it on a little tripod, and you're good to go. And let's see. Looks good, hobby. Big D says, and then Keith says, "Beauty's in the eye of the well." Okay, we got you. Ordered a couple of cameras that we mentioned. That's the Zosi, I'm sure he meant, or the Harbor Freight or the Zosi cameras.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, I like them. I'm very happy with them. And they're coming tomorrow. And I will see y'all. I don't know if I'll wake up for Dave's show because I've been staying up late with the boxes. Hopefully,
I don't know if I'll wake up for Dave's show.
Yeah. So, but either way, see you there. If I see you there, if not, see you Wednesday. And you guys have a wonderful evening. And we'll do the wave. And good night, guys. Have a wonderful week.